Today's episode is somewhat different, guys. I have one of my team members here. I'm sure you guys have seen her from our former previous challenge videos where she tastes all the food. That's why she's so...
Are you playing? What type of playing is this?
Anyways, guys, so today during our staff meeting, we were deliberating on what to do, and then she says that she doesn't know how to make ogono soup. She has never made it before. She doesn't know what the steps are. So I decided, okay, how about we show you or show her how to make ogono soup and then film the recipe just in case somebody is out there and doesn't know how to make or has never made ogono soup before. I want to prove to you that even though you have never made it before, you can make it and make it really right on the first trial. She'll be doing the entire cooking from start to finish. I'm just going to guide her on what to do, what to put first, how long to stir or how long not to stir, the whole 9 years, and then let's see if she can make the right ogono soup with my guidance here in the kitchen. And then afterwards, guys, I have something really special to show you all. Now, you all know that in this part of the world, swallow is one of the famous delicacies that we enjoy. What if I told you that there's an easy way for you to make your swallow and get it perfectly right without the stress or without any form of muscle work going into it? I'll reveal that during the course of the video, but first, let us show Bolu how to make ogono soup, shall we? Are you ready, girl? Let's do this. So first things first, open up the pot. We're going to start with the basics. It's hot, right? So you're going to grab the palm oil and throw it into the pot.
Everything.
Yes, everything. Let me see. Depending on the quantity, yes, we can do everything. Sizzle! Okay. Next up, we're going to grab the ogbono. Now, ogbono is actually one of the easiest soups to cook. You can literally cook ogbono soup in minutes if you already have your protein ready. So the ogbono has already been ground. You can ask them to help you grind it in the market. But if you have a dry blender at home, you can blend it in your house. But I always advise that you blend it in the market. Okay. So pour in the ogbono. Everything, yes. This is about, I think, 1 cup of ogbono, right? Then you you just mix it up together immediately. Olu, let your hand work, man. I'm going to reduce the heat slightly. So you just want to dissolve the ogbono in the oil, like you want them to marry together. That's pretty much what you're doing right now. The next thing, we're going to add some water. You can either use water or stock. This is a stock that we got from cooking the meat that we have. So we're going to pour all of that in there. Looking nice. Nice. So you just mix everything together to combine. You can see that it's already starting to draw. It's starting to draw slightly. If you give it a little more time, once the heat gets into it, it starts to draw really well, and that's when you know that you have very good ogbono. Your ogbono has to draw. If it doesn't draw, then there's a problem with the ogbono. So we'll just give it some time to... No, let's not cover it. Let's just leave it open. I think at this point, we can also add the onions, pepper. We can also add the meat. So go ahead and add the onions. Something I find is that you can also blend the onions into a nice puree with your pepper if you don't want to see the chunks of it in your soup. But if you don't mind seeing the chunks, you can chop it like this and chop the pepper like that as well. Okay? Then at this point, we'd also add we're using some beef, but you can pretty much use any meat of your choice. You can even use turkey, chicken, if that's what you have. But we're using some beef right now. So everything is going to go in. We have some extra beef here. We're going to put that as well. Hope you guys are following us. So far we've added the palm oil. We added some ogbono. We now added the stock or water if that's what you have. Then we added onions, pepper. Now we've added the meat. We're going to add the stock fish next. Everything is happening all at once. That's why I said this soup is actually very easy to cook. So the stock fish is going in next. I think after the stock fish, let's add the crayfish.
Everything.
Yes, let's add everything. It's going to make the soup really nice. All of the crayfish is going in. Would also add the seasoning powder. So the seasoning powder you add depends on how much of it you want, but I always advise that you don't add a lot at first. So let's start with half a teaspoon. Yes, that's fine. Yeah. And then, but when it comes to seasonings, I always advise that you start with a little and then progress as you go. You taste your food. For beginner cooks like you want to ensure that you taste your food as you. That's not shade, girl. That's just facts, okay? So for beginner cooks, even for pro cooks, you want to ensure that you taste your food as you go. That way you can adjust the seasoning if need be. So we'll also add some salt in there real quick. Let me just help you add some salt. Again, remember, don't add a lot. Add a little at a time and then you can adjust. It's better for you to add a little than add a lot and start to stress yourself to figure out how you can remove the saltiness from the soup. Okay, so give it a good mix. You can see that it's really starting to come together very nicely. This ogbono is very, very potent and I like it. Aren't you proud of yourself? I think one thing that fascinates me so much about food is how you put different ingredients, like you bring in different ingredients together to make a dish that nourishes the body, satisfies the soul. I think that's what fascinates me so much about cooking. And that's why I really love watching cooking shows a lot as well, because I'm just fascinated by how ingredients come together to form a mouth-watering delicacy that everybody would enjoy. So this is looking real. Oh, we need to add some more water because it will still have some time to thicken up. Okay, that's fine. So are you of the school of thought that you shouldn't or mustn't cover your ogbono when you're cooking it? Some people say you can cover it. Which school of thought do you belong to? Or you are not on any school of thought? Neutral. She's neutral. Well, I've tried cooking ogbono covered before and it worked. I've tried cooking it uncovered before and it still works. So whichever one works for you, just go ahead and do you. So we're just going to, yeah, this is looking really nice. Do you like what you see? I really like it. It's not drawing as much. Yeah, so we'll just give it some time to cook up for about 5 minutes and then we'll proceed to adding the other ingredients. Are you excited? No, let's just leave it open. Let's satisfy the people who are of the school of thought that you don't cover your pot when you're making ogbono. Just for today, okay? Are you happy? Are you liking what you're saying? Okay. Another question I need to ask you. When you cook, do you clear out as you use the dishes, do you clear it out?
Yeah, my mom.
Oh,
my mom, yeah. So like as you're cooking,
you're clearing out immediately. Nice one. Your mom taught you well. So we're going to clear out the dishes and then we'll be back to show you guys what to do next. Oh, look, what is happening?
I'm getting a hang of it.
That's how you know an amateur cook. She's literally like, okay, what's happened? I like the way it's bubbling. I need a scientific.
Not yet.
But it looks nice though.
Yeah.
It looks nice. It's almost there. Looking really pretty. So what we're going to do next is add the okbei. Now okbei is just like a local seasoning that adds flavor. It smells like shit. Literally smells like shit. But when you add it to the food, literally amplifies the taste of the food. It's also known as dawa dawa. So you can ask for that in the market. We're just going to do like a little piece. I like to use my hand to do it, but it smells like, oh, ew. So let's just do like okay, let's use this one. Since you are the one cooking, you're the one touching it. So just pinch a bit. You wash your hand after. Just pinch a bit of it. So just try and scatter it into the pot. If it will scatter, if not, just put it and then it will melt. Try as much as possible to scatter it. Trust me, it literally elevates the taste of your ogbono. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Then next up, you're going to add the fish. This is just some smoked fish. You can pretty much use whatever you like. Dry prawns, smoked fish, dry fish. Just do you, okay? These are what I was taught to cook with by my mom. So just give it a good stir. At this point, I think it would be nice for us to give it a taste. Just so that we know that we're not making bland food. It's looking good, right? Coming together nicely. Now, depending on the consistency you like, some people like their soup very thick. Some people like it semi-thick. Depending on your consistency, you can decide to adjust the liquid by adding more water if it's too thick for you. If it's not too thick, what I like to do to thicken things up is just add a little bit of crayfish into the pot or add a little bit of gari. Gari thickens it up nicely. If you have watery soup and you don't want watery soup, just add gari in there and it thickens it up. So let's give this a good taste. I really like the fact that it's drawing very well. You want to taste? Here you go. I think it needs It needs a little salt. It needs a little salt. You like what it tastes like? Perfect. So give it a good stir, and then we'll leave it for another 3 minutes before we add the vegetables. So for today, we're going to be using some bitter leaf as our vegetable of choice, but you can pretty much use any vegetable of choice. So we're going to be adding the vegetable now because bitter leaf requires a little time to cook up because it's kind of tough. But if you were adding a vegetable like ugu leaves, you add ugu leaves at the end when you're done with the cooking. Even you add it after you add the okra, because I always like to add okra into my ogono as well. You can do without the okra if you don't want it. So we'll just give this 2 minutes, then we'll add the bitter leaf, allow that to cook for a bit, then add the okra, and boom, our ogono soup is ready to go. So let's just give that some time, okay? So I think I'm pretty much excited with the way the texture is. Oh, look at that. It's drawing so perfectly. We've satisfied those who are of the school of thought that ogono should not be covered. Anyways, let's move on. The next thing now is for us to add the what's it called now? The bitter leaf. That's the onugbu leaves. So we're not adding, depends. If you like a lot of vegetables in your soup, then you can add everything. But I always like to do it in bits. So just pick it up and just add it in bits. Scatter it around if you must. And then ensure that when you're buying your bitter leaf from the market, you already tell them that they should wash it off thoroughly to take out that bitter taste from it. So you want it to look this way when you're buying it, so you don't have to stress. I think it's fine, but you don't overdo it all because... Okay, let's give it a stir. Let's see what it looks like. And then if we think we need more, then we can add more. Okay. That's looking good. But try and, when you're stirring, like scatter the scatter the vegetables so that I think we need a little more. Let me add a little more for you. Yeah, I think this is fine now. I think the bitter leaf just takes the soup to another level. Oh, I think use the spoon to stir. That one was just to show them the viscosity. Speaking physics now. Viscosity of things. Do you understand? Okay, I think that's looking good, yeah. So we'll give that another 2 minutes. Then finally, we're going to be adding some okra. So okra I'm adding because my mom taught me to add okra when I'm making ogono. But I found that some people don't add okra to their ogono. But I mean, the more freshness, the more life in my soup, the better. So all of the okra would go in after 2 minutes. Okay, time to add the okra. That's the final thing. Just pour it and then we'll scatter it with a spoon. Just pour it into like a lump, yeah. Perfect. Use the spoon, yeah. For me, okra and ogono soup go hand in hand. I can't make ogono soup without okra. Like, it would just be funny to me. This is the definition of perfection in a pot. This one is life now. All that's left now is our swallow. You guys, I discovered this new swallow maker. This thing will literally take the stress out of your life when you're making swallow. For this soup, we're going to be using some semovita. And you guys know how sometimes you don't get that semovita right if you're using the hand method where you have to stress yourself to do it with the pots. I've come here with something to show you guys. It is this swallow maker that will literally take the stress out of your life and help you end up with the best, authentic, perfect swallow all the time. I'm going to prove it to you guys right now. Are you ready? I think this is perfect. Oh, look at that, guys. I'm a happy girl. She's supposed to be the happier girl. You can see how adding that okra just helps elevate the look. And then I think also adding the bitter leaf as well. This soup is as good as done. Literally took us all of 25 minutes or even less, right? So what you're going to do now is just take it off the heat. And then we proceed to making the swallow. Are you a happy girl? What are you looking for? That's another way to know an amateur cook. Sister, just bring this thing down and get going. To make the swallow, measure out the swallow flour using the measuring cup and spoon that comes with the appliance. Now for every cup of swallow flour, you cook with 2 cups of water. Afterwards, open up the swallow maker and add the swallow flour and the water as well. You don't have to mix, just cover the lid firmly and then turn the knob to 20 minutes, which is all the time that you need to cook your swallow until it is perfectly cooked. The beautiful thing about this swallow maker is that you can simultaneously cook your soup and make your swallow at the same time. Talk about really good multitasking skills here. Allow the swallow maker do its magic, and as soon as the timer goes off, you can open up the appliance and then allow to cool down slightly. This is exactly what the semo looks like after it is cooked and had a few minutes to cool down. If you're extra like me, you want to take things up a notch by just molding the swallow into a nice form. Just wrap it tightly in a clean bag and then roll it on a flat surface to smoothing out the top. And afterwards, you can serve it up with your soup. Kindly check the description box below to see how you can order one of these appliances for yourself today. I highly recommend it, and it's definitely an appliance that you should have handy in your kitchen if you're interested in quick, fun, and fast cooking. Moment of truth, Bolu. Am I the one tasting or are you the one tasting your food? I think we'll both taste. Are you using your hand or fork? Okay. Me, I'm using fork. Because I have my nails fixed. Nobody should come for me in the comment section. Cause. Oh yeah, let's go. First of all, do you like the texture of the swallow? What do you think of the texture? It's nice, yeah?
Yeah.
So the swallow maker did a great job. I think I want to touch it. Yeah, perfect. Love it. Okay. Bolu, I hope this your soup will be nice. It actually looks nice. It smells nice. Do you like it? Oh shit! Wait.
Very nice.
Wait. I need to tell them first whether it's nice. Hold on. This time around, I'm not the one cooking. No, I really like the way the soup looks. I like the way it looks. I like the way it's drawing nicely. I mean, she learned from the best. She learned from the best. She learned from the best. Authentic, perfect, nice one. Great job. Congrats. Now you know how to make. What are you doing? Oh, you can be going. Bye-bye. Enjoy. Anyways, fun, my guys. I hope you guys enjoyed learning how to make ogono soup with Bolu and I. And you definitely want to invest in that swallow maker. It makes your life super duper duper easy. I'll see you next time with another episode. Until then, take care, guys.